going, my friends? I'm Jason Calva, and this is Everything Rollerblading. Now today, I got a new box, and even though it says these are some ice skates from Rollerblade, they're not. I ordered some Twister SE boots from THURO, where you can get them boot only. Now, last week, I unboxed a set of the Wish OY3X frames, these guys here. Now, I tested these on the Rollerblade Cruisers, which felt like a little too wide and not as responsive as I was looking for, and so I really wanted to try them on an urban skate, since that's kind of what the frame is designed for. And when I saw these, I needed to try them. So this is the Twister Special Edition that just came out. That's like an iridescent gray. It almost looks like a metallic purple almost to it. They look really, really good. They're a slimmer fit, a little bit more, less volume in the entire shell than what the Cruiser would be. They've just modified this boot to make it so that it's a little bit more responsive. And so, get the box down here. So a few things is that it says even right here that it has a torsion box. So all the extra plastic and padding along the bottom of the boot is so that when you really go to ride hard on it, it doesn't really give or flex at all. And so it gives you a lot more response. This is probably as responsive of a boot as you can have with it still being a plastic shell. To get anything more responsive than this, you need to step up to like a carbon style boot or a marathon boot, a race boot, something like that. So let's take a few peeks of the inside of the skate. So first thing is that as soon as you get them, one of the things that Rollerblade is always known for, like really high quality plastics and probably the best liners you can get that's a stock liner outside of like an Intuition liner. For me, one of the selling points was that these have like a space theme to them. So when you take the liners out, the liner has like a printing on it that looks like outer space. Stars, galaxies, those kinds of things. As soon as you feel it, man, it just feels like a really high quality liner. And they have the nice neoprene toe. So if you're not used to what the neoprene toe does, if your toes are too full, once you start to pack it out in there, the neoprene will start to expand with your toe box. They also don't just use a really cheap insole. The stock Rollerblade insole is actually one of the few ones that has some plastic reinforcement for some arch support in there, so it looks and feels really good on the feet. It doesn't feel like something that's really floppy or flimsy like they've done in the past. They've really kind of stepped it up, and there's a lot of perforations in it so that the skate can breathe a lot more. And so that's one of the cool things on this as well, is it has a couple different vent holes. In the front of the skate here, where you're skating, it goes right up into the toes, and then there's this nice little vent right in here. So it's like a screen, so that way when you're skating, the entire liner can breathe a whole lot more. And then these skates, which is really nice that my carbon skates don't have, is some kind of like a dampener or a shock absorber in the heel. So that means when you're riding around, it's going to absorb a lot more of that impact. The more vibration that your boot will absorb for you means that you're going to have less fatigue in your feet, because they're not having to do so much work because they're being vibrated the entire time. Man, they look really good. The other amazing thing is that Rollerblade uses one shell for each full size. So if you're a size 8 and then you go to a size 9, it's a completely new boot or sole, where sometimes it'll be like an 8-9 together, so you get kind of like a sloppy feeling to them. The Twisters and the blanks, everything that Rollerblade makes is an individual shell size. So that makes it a completely different experience if you've gone from other skates where you don't really feel like you're fitting inside of the skate properly. It's a lot easier to get the size dialed in when they make every hole size is like a new plastic mold. So even the liners have holes in them to breathe for ventilation. They have a nice plastic support here, so that way you're not going to feel the buckle kind of compressing there. The tongue feels nice and thick, the padding on it feels really good. Same thing with the lace. You can lace up the liners here, but then the heel in the heel pocket here, it feels like it's really gonna like hold your heels in the back of the skate so you're not sliding around in the boot at all. So I'm gonna set these boots up with these frames. This is a 125 millimeter wheel, but you can ride a 125, 110, or 100 millimeter wheel on the exact same frame. So that makes it really versatile. So if I feel like 125s are too tall, I could go down. If I want something that's a little bit more maneuverable and things like that, I could go to 100. But I like to go longer distances, so that's where I'm probably gonna stick with the 125s. So once we get them all set up, this frame just looks like it's almost made for this boot. Clean black frame, matte black on this iridescent gray silver boot. It just looks really, really good. I'm really excited to try these out.
You are